Alright, so for the final video of the Jack Kirby week that I'm doing, I am doing a series that I'm sure all you guys are able to figure it out. It's the New Gods. New Gods issue number 1 came out in March 1971. So I believe it came out at the same time as the Forever People. Might have came out first because Darkseid's first appearance was in the Forever People, and he makes an appearance here. So yeah, Forever People came out first. Issue number 1 came out first, anyways. But yeah, I freaking love this series. I know like I've been repeating myself in the past 2 videos, but I would say of the Jack Kirby series that I've done, this is my absolute favorite. I can't wait to read the rest of the New Gods. Oh my god, like it is amazing. But yeah, I wanted to save the best for last. So New Gods, very first issue, 1971, issue number 1. An epic for our times. Read Orion fights for Earth. I won't lie, this little contraption that Orion rides in, the Astro harness. Every time when I see him ride around it, I get a little chuckle because it looks like he's basically riding like it reminds me of those like segways that you see people riding, mostly security guards. So I'm just like picturing Orion flying through space in his space Segway. But yeah, we start off with this amazing splash panel where we have basically what's a futuristic space version of Ragnarok. And for anyone who's not familiar with Ragnarok, it's basically Norse mythology, and it's kind of like their version of Armageddon, and it's where like, the gods battle each other, and a lot of them die. So like Odin, Thor, Loki, all those characters get killed off in Ragnarok. So that's what this reminded me of. I think that's actually maybe what Jack Kirby's inspiration was for this, where basically like the gods are fighting each other and they kill each other off, and this looks like basically his like sci-fi space interpretation of Ragnarok. But epilogue. There came a time when the old gods died. The brave died with the cunning. The noble perished locked in battle with unleashed evil. It was the last day for them. An ancient era was passing in fiery holocaust. The final moment came with the fatal release of indescribable power, which tore the home of the old gods asunder, split it into great halves, and filled the universe with the blinding death flash of this destruction. I love this page. So we get like the world exploding. And then in the end, there were 2 giant molten bodies, spinning slow and barren, clean of all that had gone before, adrift in the fading sounds of cosmic thunder. Silence closed upon what had happened. A long, deep silence, wrapped in massive darkness. It was this way for an age. Then there was new light. Then we see Orion appearing in his flying Segway. We see Orion appearing in his astro harness. Across the vast distance, where the mysteries deepen and hide and wait with the answers not yet known, a call has been heard, a name summoned for the ultimate mission, to thwart the ultimate destruction. Thus he comes, the protector, wielder of the astral force, Orion of the New Gods. So then we get this really cool like splash page of just a close-up of Orion and his helmet, and oh man, I freaking love this. And then it says, I have heard the word, it is battle. And I'm not all that familiar with the New Gods. I read the New Gods special that came out this month, the whole Jack Kirby special thing, and that's pretty much it. Like that's as far as my New Gods. Well, I did see, I have been reading Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, and Orion shows up in this current arc. Orion shows up. So I say a little bit of him, but other than that, like I have no knowledge of the New Gods. So all this stuff is new to me, but I do know that Orion is the son of Darkseid, and Orion is basically, I don't want to say obsessed, but he's very he has like a warrior spirit within him. Not literally, but I mean that as a he likes to fight. Like he loves being in brawls and stuff like that. Or at least that's kind of the feeling that I get when I read this issue. And course, here we go. Written, drawn, and edited by Jack Kirby. Like, Jack Kirby, man. Like, I said this before in the previous video, but I always knew he was, like, big. And he's, like, one of the greats. But I never really saw the proof. It was one of those, you know that whole show don't tell? It's a writing thing where rather than just giving a bunch of exposition and telling the audience this character's so great, you show them. Basically, this is a problem that Marvel has with their modern characters. Like Riri, will they say how great Riri is and how like amazing and super genius and all that stuff? But it's like they keep telling us, but they're not showing it. They don't show Riri being great. They don't show any of these modern characters being great. They just keep telling us that these characters are great and you should love them because they're great and they're super smart and they're super powerful and like everybody loves them and blah blah blah. But you're not showing any of that stuff. So that's kind of what it was for Jack Kirby, for me, where a lot of people told me, and I've heard of how great Jack Kirby is, and he's basically up there with Stan Lee, but I never really looked at any of his stuff. Like I've read characters that he had created, but not stuff that he himself, like issues he himself wrote and illustrated. It was just mostly like stuff that other people did based off characters that he created. So this is actually the first time. This week has been the first time where I've actually gone and I've read stuff written and drawn and edited by Jack Kirby himself. And wow. I always heard he's great, but fucking hell, man, he is amazing. Like I am so it's so sad that he's gone because I would love to see like what he would do now. Like if just give him, don't shackle him down, just be like, Jack Kirby, you do whatever you want to do. You write whatever story you want, illustrate it however you want it. No, no executive meddling whatsoever. You do whatever you want. You have full creative freedom. I want to see what Jack Kirby would come up with in this modern day and age. It's a shame we'll never get that. But yeah, Jack Kirby is amazing. Back to the story. Orion is flying through space, and Light Ray arrives and tells him, like, New Genesis has been a dull place without you. And, basically, welcome back and follow me and I'll take you to New Genesis. And we see New Genesis, and I love this page right here. No more glorious sight has ever greeted any eyes than that of New Genesis, home of the new gods, a golden island of gleaming spires that orbits a sunlit, unspoiled world of green forests, white mountains, and bright waters. The true place of peace, it sings a haunting song, even to the warrior hearts. This is like, I love this. Of course, we get the retro classic sci-fi design. So Orion starts following Light Ray back, and we get like another cool splash page where we see a little bit more. It kind of reminds me almost like, this is like what I would picture like Olympus, or like some kind of or maybe like ancient Athens, but with like sci-fi elements. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It has like a Greek feeling to it. But yeah, so basically, Lightway is leading Orion through the New Genesis, and Orion's like taking in the sights, and Lightway's like, you must stay this time, Orion. Forget the sound of battle. Laugh. Learn to laugh again. And then we get like, this is like where I'm getting like the whole Orion loves to fight, because he's I fear that my recall is not a laughing matter, Lightway. Nonsense. To laugh is to feel the beat of life. Live, Orion, live. Of all the celestials, you are the one most plagued by shadows, and you prattle on forever like a novice. My destiny is battle. I wield the mighty power of the astral force. It is a grim and fearful responsibility. Lightway is like, yes, but I hide nothing from you, whereas inside you there are chambers which no one may enter. That is true. I am two worlds, like New Genesis and that demon's pit apocalypse, one drifting forever in the shadow of the other. The writing's so good. So yeah, Lightway leads Orion to the High Father, who kind of reminds me of like Lion-O from Thundercats. He has like the Moses beard going on without the mustache part, so it just looks weird. This is like old man Lion-O right here. So yeah, High Father Takes Orion to this other room, and he's like telling him, there is danger then. Life and freedom are threatened. On a scale never before attempted. Come, we must go to the chamber of the source. This wall is our link with the source. It lived even as the old gods died. That is so. It is eternal. It is the life equation, and its power is a part of your wonder staff. And then we get some dude like appearing in his lazy boy in his Metron. So we got a space Segway and we got a space lazy boy. I think I would prefer the space lazy boy. Just like kick back, maybe pull up the footrests, have like a can of beer or something just at my side, and just cruise through space in style. So yeah, it looks like we got beef between Metron and Orion. Or at least Orion doesn't seem to care about Metron. We get a little, somewhat of a reason later on. I'll get to that. But yeah, Metron basically likes to, I guess, go through space, like learning everything he can. Like Metron's thing is knowledge, while Orion likes to fight. Metron likes to gather as much knowledge as he possibly can. So High Father like interrupts their banter. Is like, silence. The wonder staff which called you is in turn summoned by the source. The wall awaits the written word. Metron says, what wouldn't I give to possess the knowledge of the source? And Orion, you know too much already, Metron. Be content with your Mobius chair, which rides the dimension winds of time-space. So I know the chair can teleport, but I guess it can also take him through time? Is that? Or is it just time-space is just like an explanation for the dimension hopping? Or is that like, I'm assuming he can like also go into like different dimensions and different time periods? Maybe? I don't know. The moving hand appears. The source gives us the irrevocable counsel, but it does not decide. The right of choice is ours. That is the life equation. So Orion to apocalypse, then to Earth, then to war. So basically, the moving hand like tells them what to do, but it doesn't force them to do it. And I mean, it's their decision to make, but it's telling Orion that he has to first go to apocalypse, and then afterwards he goes to Earth, and then war. So High Father tells him that Darkseid has already made that choice. Darkseid is already like on Earth, and I believe this is where Forever People comes in, because in the first issue of Forever People, Darkseid goes to Earth. So I've heard that New Gods and Forever People are like interconnected. It's part of the Fourth World meta series. I don't know how to describe it, but that whole series that Jack Kirby created, which I want to definitely read up as much as I can of that now, because after reading Forever People and reading this issue, I am hooked. Like, I'm very intrigued. I want to see more about the Fourth World. So yeah, Orion leaves to go to Apocalypse, and as he does, Metron says, how wondrous wise is the source, who is more ready to fight the Father than the Son. And then that's where we basically hear that this is basically where this series tells us that Orion is the son of Darkseid. And High Father tells him to basically be quiet, because Orion doesn't know about that knowledge yet. He doesn't know that his father is Darkseid, and we must keep that a secret from him for now. Yeah, Orion flies through space and he approaches Apocalypse, which looks pretty badass. Kind of reminds me of like a Death Star. But yeah, he says, if the other side of good is evil, then surely Apocalypse is the other side. Even its giant energy pits feed on the world itself to gain its power and light. It is a dismal, unclean place of great ugly houses sheltering uglier machines. Apocalypse is an armed camp where those who live with weapons rule the wretches who build them. All that New Genesis stands for is reversed on Apocalypse. Life is the evil here, and death the great goal. Oh man, like, the writing. Jack Kirby is like one of those where he gets a lot of fame for his illustrations, but his writing, oh my god, his writing is very good. Like, holy. Like, this is a perfect just explanation for the planet. Like, for anyone who doesn't know what Apocalypse is, now you know. And I really love that this panel right here. Like, I gotta say it again, because I love it. Apocalypse is an armed camp where those who live with weapons rule the wretches who build them. Like that is so cool. Life is the evil here, and death the great goal. Oh man, that's freaking poetic. I love it. I love this issue. So Orion gets attacked by parademons who they look exactly like the cavity creeps from Forever People and the soldiers from Machine Man. Like the faces. The parademons know that Orion, like they're no match for Orion, but they attack him anyways because they know that Orion, like right here they say, he worships combat. He desires the nearness of death. So basically Orion could easily one-shot them, but instead he doesn't because he loves the thrill of battle and he loves like coming close to death when he fights. But he gets like overwhelmed, so he uses the power of the Astral Force to blow the parademons away. So he basically fights with the Statue of Darkseid and he hides his astral harness there because he knows that no one will come close to the statue because it's like sacred to them. Meanwhile, more guards show up and Orion again jumps into battle. Orion does not wait. He rushes forward, striking with the stunning force of a cosmic hammer. So yeah, like Orion's just basically I'm assuming like since they're new gods, they're each gods of something. So I'm guessing Orion is a god of war. I'm just guessing. Like I could be completely wrong. Like I said, I don't know like anything about the new gods. So Orion basically starts fighting off the guards and starts fighting his way into the complex. And then we see like another one of his abilities. I guess he has like super strength because he's able to crush a nearby stone pillar, and basically uses the rubble to like fall on the dogs and stuff. And Orion rushes deeper into the fortress as he tries to find Darkseid. When I find out the Darkseid is gone, it says he sees Apocalypse is abandoned by its rulers. This is a mass director unit. It has been activated to transmit Darkseid's orders. This is what now rules all Apocalypse. And then wrong, the director keeps order here, but it's I who guard Apocalypse. And then we see Calabac. I've heard of that name before, but I don't know what I could swear I've heard the name Calabac before. Maybe it might have not been this character. Maybe it was another character named Calabac. Not necessarily in comics, but I know I've heard that name before. But I don't know where. Plus, I mean, like, there's the fact, like I said, I don't really know I don't know anything really about New Gods. But I know I've heard that name. But anyways, Calabac challenges Orion to battle. Calabac has special rod. I don't know what the heck that thing is called. Before he can fight Orion, like this energy beam like arrives, and it's basically like a barrier that prevents Calabac from attacking Orion. And it turns out that it's Metron, because like Metron appears in his lazy boy and basically like tells him that like I wish to help you. Like Orion's like kind of shoots him down. He's like to fight Calabac, one only needs but power. And Metatron says, you'll need more than that to fight Darkseid. You know what is at stake. I know my task. I will do it well. High Father knows I will perish before I fail. Metatron says, and you will fail. Darkseid is already on Earth, even now, paving the way for its complete subjugation. And you fight over Calabac? So, yeah, basically, like, Darkseid is on Earth, taking it over, and you're wasting your time fighting this, D-level henchman. And Orion's like, I anger, I fight, and you are like the cold machines. And this is basically the thing I was mentioning earlier, where Orion dislikes Metron because Metron is basically like a robot in terms of emotions. Like he doesn't really, his thing is just like everything. He's very he's Spock basically. Everything's logical. Everything's about knowledge and intelligence, and he sees everything through that like point of view. Whereas Orion, I guess, would be the Dr. McCoy in that he's very emotional, and he like runs on emotions, specifically anger. But yeah, Metron basically says that when the old gods died, their bridge to Earth was destroyed. It was I who found the way to create what our young ones called the boom tube. So I guess the boom tube that that Cyborg uses, that the Forever People use, was created by Metron, which is kind of cool. So yeah, apparently Darkseid was able to gain that knowledge, and he created a boom tube to Earth. And Metron says, Darkseid's minions are busily at work on a mass director unit that will monitor the mind of every human. One of those minds holds the secret of the anti-life equation. If he contacts that mind. So basically, forever people, the beautiful dreamer. That's the whole reason why he captured her, just because Darkseid assumed that she had the secrets of the anti-life equation, and then he let her go because she didn't. So I thought this was kind of like not. I liked how they kept that continuity thing going. So yeah, Metron basically says, Darkseid's many steps ahead of you. He's probing minds of humans right now, and Orion basically turns and he sees 4 humans that Darkseid, I guess, has been probing their mind for knowledge on the anti-life equation. So Metron gives Orion his astral harness. Like he, I guess, is able to warp it to Orion, and then Metron disappears. So Orion uses the astral harness to free the humans, and then before they can escape, Kalibak arrives, because with Metron gone, the barrier that was holding Kalibak back disappears, so they fight. So here's what it is. Okay, so it's called a Beta Club, and Kalibak uses a nerve beam to shoot at Orion. It says, turn on to full power, the nerve beam can cause an army to wither in agony, but quick use of the astral force smothers its total effect. Orion receives some damage, but not as much as it could because of the astral harness. The astral harness is actually pretty cool. I know I make fun of it for a segue, but it's actually a pretty cool contraption. But Orion wants to fight Kalibak, but because there's humans in the way, he can't engage him in fisticuffs. So instead, he shoots him with the astral flash from his astral harness, which kind of stuns Kalibak. And then with Kalibak stunned, Orion creates a boom tube to Earth, and him and the humans go into it, and they arrive back on Earth. The humans kind of introduce themselves, and they're asking, what's going on? What are we involved in? And Orion's because one of them, Claudia, says, I'm a secretary, not a pawn. It's some spy game. And Orion says, this game, as you call it, is bigger than you think, as large as the universe, and a battle looms which binds us all. There is a being aboard here with powers beyond your wildest dreams. Darkseid is here. As if in answer to Orion's words, the sky flashes and rumbles with the angry voice of an unseen giant. Darkseid, I have come. The battle begins. And then we get this cool splash page with Darkseid and its prologue, which at first I was kind of confused. I was like, did Jack Kirby mix his prologue with his epilogue? But so prologue. As it was in the time of the old gods, the titanic struggle for the fate of mankind is to rage once again. The new gods wield greater power, for in our day, it's we who live in the dark shadows of the outcome. I hear you, Orion. The battle begins. And that's how the first issue of New Gods ends. And I am freaking hooked. I've heard so many good things about New Gods. I never really got around to actually reading anything from them. I did kind of read a little bit of the New Gods special, but the thing is, for that, I kind of read a little bit of it at the comic book store. I didn't actually purchase it just because I don't really have the money to be buying a bunch of comics all the time. But from what I saw, it looked kind of interesting. I've heard just nothing but good things about the New Gods. So to finally be able to read an issue, I can say it is amazing. Definitely something I'm definitely going to be reading. I got to check out more Jack Kirby stuff, because everything that I've read from him is just been so good. So there was another thing in the Fourth World. I know there's the Forever People. I know there's the New Gods. I think Mr. Miracle is also part of the Fourth World, because he's also a son of Darkseid. Was there anything else? Because I want to check out all the Fourth World stuff, because this sounds like a really a cool series, or meta series, or whatever you want to call it. The Fourth World just sounds awesome. Forever People, I just read the first issue, but that issue was great. New Gods is amazing. I'm definitely going to be reading both of these. I'm also going to be reading The Machine Man, but that has nothing to do with the Fourth World. But yeah, I'm just going to start. I can keep rambling, so I'm just going to stop here. So yeah, this was New Gods issue number 1 from 1971 by Jack Kirby himself. And this is the final Jack Kirby week video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this week. I'll see. I don't know how my view counts are gonna do since it's like old issues. Hopefully not too bad, because I would love to continue to do more old school comics. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, if anyone can tell me like what other stuff is in the Fourth World other than Forever People, New Gods, and Mr. Miracle, I would like to check that out. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later.